talk about that day. What were you doing on the night of September 24th?
Well, sure. I was, my dad, he was a painter, right? And so I picked it up from him. So I was out there painting, to be honest with you. And because it was about to rain that night, I really wanted to capture the colors of the rain. So I was out there painting, and they called for painting. They called for raining on they called for raining.
And what, if anything, happened while you were painting?
Well, I mean, like I said, they were calling for rain. It started to drizzle, and it started to really pour down. And that's when my dog Peaches, she's a little Chihuahua, she noticed off the side of the road that she started looking at it intently. She was really like looking at the road, and she started barking like she had seen a deer or something. Because I mean, she sees deer all the time.
Objection, Your Honor, to speculation.
Sustained.
Motion to strike the testimony.
Right.
Mr. Bennett, can you once again just explain what you were doing, what you saw while you were painting?
Well, so like I said, Peach started barking at the road. It was raining, and that's when I noticed the car coming down the road.
And what, if anything, did you see while you were staring at the car?
Well, I'll be honest with you, going a little bit too fast for a road, because I mean, Canyon Road's pretty dangerous in my opinion. And at first I noticed it was going okay at first, and then it started to swerve a little bit, and it spun around like a top, and that's when it hit a tree.
Now, Mr. Bennett, how long have you been living on Canyon Road?
Well, the Bennetts have owned that piece of property for years now, and I mean, to be honest with you, my granddad, Leonard Bennett II, he helped build that.
And do you know how far your house is from the road?
So it's about 100 feet. Me and my cousin, we all used to play football on the road, on my yard.
Can you describe Canyon Road?
So, all right, well, take the hardest racetrack I can think of, right, and add a whole bunch of curves to it, turn off the lights, because I'm the only light that's on that road. Put some trees on there, some wildlife, and you got Canyon Road. It's pretty dangerous, to be honest with y'all. I've seen a couple accidents on it already. I mean, that couple of
Objection, Your Honor, relevance to the previous accidents this witness has seen.
Anybody want to hear on that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, if I make an offer of proof, this one is just going to testify that he has previously seen accidents on this road. All this is doing is qualifying the answer that he thought the road was dangerous.
Your Honor, whether or not this witness has seen previous accidents on this road doesn't make anything more or less likely in today's case. What's in question today is the defendant's accidents, not any previous accidents, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may.
Okay, go ahead.
It's our contention that the road was, in fact, dangerous that night. Mr. Bennett's already testified that he's lived on the road for a number of years. He's testified that he's seen accidents and his opinion that the road was dangerous.
All right, overruled.
Mr. Bennett, can you please restate your answer?
Sure. Like I said, I've seen accidents on the road before. I mean, in fact, a couple kids died a couple years back from the accident.
Objection, Your Honor, more prejudicial than probative as to the couple kids dying on this road previously.
Overruled.
Mr. Bennett, once again, can you just restate your answer?
Well, sure. I've seen accidents on the road, and like I said, a couple kids died. To be honest with y'all, I think the road's pretty dangerous. They need to do some fixing right now.
Okay, Mr. Bennett, let's go back to the accident.
Sure.
What, if anything, happened after you saw the collision?
Well, I called the police and I told them that's what I seen. I saw the accident. And I grabbed my poncho because it was raining, of course, and I ran outside to see if anybody was okay, see if everybody was okay with the accident. That's when I saw somebody standing outside the road, on the road. Didn't know who it was just yet, but I knew it to be Miss Dan Dawson now. And then I saw some people in the car. I mean, honestly, my heart dropped because I saw Hoppy. I mean, I know him, Taylor. Excuse me, I call him Hoppy. Taylor Hoppy.
Objection, Your Honor, narrative.
Okay, go ahead. Next question.
Mr. Bennett, who did you see when you arrived at the accident?
Okay, like I said, I saw Mr. Dan Dawson. I saw Taylor Hobson in the car, I've known him for years, so I knew him off back. And I saw Vanessa Sullivan, and honestly, she didn't look too good.
Now, when you saw Ms. Dawson, did you say anything to her?
Well, sure, I just wanted to see if she was all right. She was in an accident. And as I got closer, I noticed that her hair was bleeding a little bit. Now, it was raining. I couldn't see it. It was dark. Didn't know where it was bleeding from, but it was definitely bleeding. And, I mean, other than that, she looked pretty shook from the accident, but pretty alert. I didn't see her. She didn't seem drunk or anything.
Now, Mr. Dawson, did you see a deer that evening?
No, but like I said, Peaches started barking at the road. And Peaches is a certified hunter chihuahua, so she knows when she smells a deer. And
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
Sustained.
Motion to strike, Your Honor.
Granted.
Mr. Bennett, one final question.
sure.
during your interaction with Ms. Dawson, how did she seem?
Like I said, she didn't seem drunk. She just seemed shook from the accident.
Thank you for that. No further questions, Your Honor.
May I proceed? Mr. Bennett, I'm going to be asking you a few questions about the night in question.
Sure.
Now, you've lived on Canyon Road your entire life, correct?
Pretty much, like I said, Ben's owned that piece of property for centuries.
So you know that the speed limit on this road is 35 miles per hour, correct?
Yeah, and I told them they needed to change that, but nobody listens to me.
However, the speed limit is 35 miles per hour, correct?
Right, you're right.
Now, I want to talk to you about the events of September 24th, 2010.
Sure.
Now, you mentioned that you were painting, right?
Right, like I said, I picked it up from my dad. I always looked at paint.
Now, you were painting a picture of the road, correct?
Yeah.
So, therefore, you were looking at the road, right?
Right, if I was painting a picture of the road, I'm definitely looking at it.
So, just to clarify, you did not see a deer on that road, right?
No, I mean, deers are pretty fast. They can, blink across the eye. You blink, you're not going to see it, so I might have blinked.
However, you did not see a deer at any time that night, right?
No, I can't say I saw a deer.
Now, moments after you looked at the road, you saw a car careening down it, correct?
Right.
Now, you thought this car was going too fast.
Yeah, it looked like it was going too fast, especially because it was raining out there. I mean, I seen accidents on there all the time, so it looked like it was going a little too fast.
So you thought it was going too fast for the weather, right?
Definitely.
You thought this car was going above the speed limit, correct?
Yeah, probably, but I didn't have one of those, police radar things, so I can't tell you for sure if it was going over or going under. I don't know.
Is it your testimony today that you did not think this car was going above the speed limit?
Oh, sure, it was probably going, but it looked like it was going pretty fast.
So you thought this car was speeding, right?
Yeah, for the weather, going a little too fast.
Moments after you saw this car, you saw it jerk to the right, correct?
Yeah, like I said,
And then back to the left,
right, it started swerving and then spun around like a top.
started swerving, and then it ultimately hit a tree.
I saw it hit a tree, I got closer, and I thought I also hit a pole as well.
Now, after you witnessed this, you called 911, right?
Definitely.
When you called 911, you told them you just witnessed a crazy driver go flying off the road, right?
I don't remember if I saw it say all that, but I definitely told them I saw an accident.
Is it your testimony today that you do not remember saying that?
I don't, it was a couple of years back, I don't remember saying all that.
Is there anything that can refresh your memory?
Sure, you can bring up, what's it called, affidavit?
Yes. I appreciate it, Ms. Jones.
Yeah, you're right. I did say it was a crazy driver. Yeah, and also, I complained about the road being a little bit too dangerous too, but I will admit, I did say it was a crazy driver on the road.
So just to be clear, when you called 911, you told them you just witnessed a crazy driver go flying off the road, right?
Yeah.
Now, it was moments after you called 911 that you headed to the crash.
Sure.
When you got to the crash, you saw the defendant there, right?
Right, I saw the defendant and I saw the people inside the car.
Now, the defendant was muttering a few words, right?
Yeah, she was talking to herself. I heard a couple of things.
She was saying Jack and Ginger, correct?
Right, like I said, I didn't see who was in the car just yet, so I thought she was talking about the people in the car, but she was saying that. Like I said, I got closer and I saw it was Hoppy and Miss Silva.
Regardless of what you thought, she was saying Jack and Ginger, right?
Sure.
Now, you also mentioned earlier that the defendant did not seem drunk to you, right?
She didn't seem drunk to me, no.
However, what she did say to you was, "So stupid. Why did I let them talk me into driving when I knew I was tipsy," correct?
Right.
There's no further questions, Your Honor.
You object?
Yes, Your Honor, briefly. Now, Mr. Bennett, we know that you've lived on Canyon Road for a very long time.
All my life.
Do deer frequent that area regularly?
Yeah, like I said, I go hunting all the time out there because there's a lot of deer out there. So, yeah, there's a lot of deer out there.
And can you please explain the accident that you were talking about prior with other kids?
Oh, well, the kids.
Objection, Your Honor, beyond the scope of my examination.
Sustained.
Just one more time, Mr. Bennett. Are deer frequent in that area?
asked him out.
Sustained.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Bennett, opposing counsel brought up on cross-examination that you said you saw a crazy driver.
Right.
Could you please explain that statement?
Well, I mean, I saw a crazy driver, I didn't really know what was going on really, because they were going a little bit too fast and going a little bit too hard. So it was a pretty crazy situation, so I called it a crazy driver.
Thank you for that. No further questions, Your Honor.
May the witness be excused? May the witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
This would now like to call Mr. Leslie Roman to stand. Can you please state your name and occupation for the record?
Yes, my name is Leslie Roman, and I'm the expert engineer, expert accident reconstruction.
Now, what exactly do you do at Expert Accident Reconstruction?
Well, basically what we do is we take the evidence from a fatal crash report with a reconstruction accident, we analyze that evidence, do a couple of site visits, and try to find the most likely cause of the accident.
Okay, now before we move forward, can you detail your educational background for the report?
Sure, I got my bachelor's in civil engineering at University of Texas at Austin. I've studied traffic engineering in densely populated areas such as France, more urban areas such as San Francisco, California, and even the rural areas such as Peoria, Illinois. I consider myself to be a student in the field. For 5 years, I also worked with the Midlands Department of Transportation.
Now, when you work in accident reconstruction, do you rely on reliable principles and methods?
Absolutely. We try to keep our firm up to date with all the most reliable principles and methods in the field. And we apply those things, always constantly changing our minds to adopt new practices and processes.
And did you apply those in today's case?
Yes.
Now, how are you involved in today's case?
Well, I analyzed, talked about the defense, to analyze the fatal crash change report, see the consistency of it, make a couple of site visits, and find the most likely cause of the accident on September 24th with Daniel Dawson.
Now, what was the most likely cause of the accident?
Well, after looking at the fatal crash change report, they reconstruct the accident, and after doing a couple of site visits, we saw the path of the car and how the car exited the road on the east embankment and rutted in the grass about 144 feet. This evasive maneuver the car took was consistent with avoiding some type of large object. Like a deer, that area is highly populated with deer.
Objection, Your Honor. Max Foundation.
Now we can lay that foundation.
Okay, go ahead.
How are you familiar with the area being heavily populated with deer?
Well, a couple ways. Well, 5 years in 1993 and through 1998, I worked with the Midlands Department of Transportation. And this is one of our red flag areas, and I submitted 7 reports on Canyon Road. On top of the site visit I did 10 years later in today's case. And what I've done is I saw the sign signaling that this is an area that's highly populated with deer. So the signage is one way. Another way, this is
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Overruled.
So the signage is one way that I know this place to be highly populated with deer, which is why we have those signs letting the drivers know. Another way is that I take my family here every year to do deer watching.
Now, you said you you analyzed the fatal crash change report. What, if anything, did you find within the report?
Well, there are 2 things I found, and this is very interesting because I rarely disagree with fatal crash team reconstruction accidents. They do a very decent job. The first thing is that they grossly underestimated the danger of Canyon Road. And secondly, they overestimated the speed in which the defendant was driving.
Now, you said that they overestimated speed and grossly underestimated the dangers of the road. Could you explain that?
Yes. Well, typically, when you want to find the speed of an individual prior to an accident, there's a small black box right underneath the driver's seat, and it's called an event data record. What happens is you will pull that event data record and you will plug it into a machine, and it will give you the information such as the speed that the driver was traveling, the position of the pedals, and the position of the brakes as well. Typically, you will retrieve this black box, steel type material. You retrieve this insert material and know all the information. Well, when I went to do the vehicle description report, this was removed.